Hello, Puggies, and Happy New Year, even though technically it's February, so it's already been New Year for quite a long time. Welcome to the Livin the Puglife show, brought to you by Pug Parties, because your pug deserves to be the best dressed pug at the porty. I'm your host, Donna, and my co-hosts, Rosie and Charles, are currently fast asleep under my desk because apparently it's too hot to put in an appearance. Or an appearance if we really want to get there. But the best thing is we've got some absolutely pawsome guests tonight for our first show, and you might as well call it a 2-for-1. So we're talking to our new friends Tim and Kat about their pugalier buddy, the puggy that smiles and absolutely everything all the time, and we can vouch that he does, because we've seen him smile and it's like it's on high beam all the time. So believe me, you're gonna love it when you see it. Plus, we'll also be talking about Puggie Grooming and the differences between mobile and shop-based groomers. So everyone, please put your paws together and help me welcome Tim, Kat, and Buddy. Yay!
Hi, everyone.
There we are. Lovely.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. So Lynn, here we go. So Grant, Ella, and Alfie are saying hello to everyone, and we've also got who have we got? We've got Lynn and Gerald and Oscar. So I'm actually surprised those guys are alive, because we were all at playgroup this morning, and it was warm. It was very warm, and so you guys are Melbourne based as well, but you're northern suburbs.
Western suburbs.
Bits and pieces of
that part of Melbourne.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So lovely. Hello to Jess Purton, who's just started watching as well.
Hi, Jig.
Oh, lovely. Even better. Apparently, Gerald and Oscar are clapping, or should she say snoring? So, but that's fine. Everyone's fine. So we've also got somebody who said Jess has said hi, Buddy. So if anyone who's using or who's jumping onto the live stream tonight for the first time, there is in the I'm going to try to think, the comments section of the actual post, there is a link that you can give Facebook permission for me to be able to see your name. So otherwise, but don't worry about it if you don't want to do that permission, because I can still see your name and your comments popping up on my phone. So hello to Willow and to Joe. Those guys I know are up in New South Wales, so hopefully they're enjoying some lovely weather as well. And Joanne did say she loves looking at Buddy, even though he's not smiling for me at the moment. Have we got camera shy all of a sudden?
Seems like
a bit awkward.
Yeah.
Camera shy.
What are you doing?
Oh, that's all right. When we start talking about it, he realises that we are, then we'll be fine.
Yeah.
He really liked the intro video. It got his attention.
Definitely. I loved him as I love the bridal party photo. That is one of my favourite ones.
He's so grumpy about it.
That's our save the date wedding card.
It's just gorgeous. So Arnie and Pepper said to say hello. Interested in Rob cooking dinner. Oh, okay. More interested in Rob cooking dinner. Sorry. There we go.
It's always food first.
Well, absolutely. Hello to Finn, Angus, and Elroy. So they were Puggy guests at the end of last year. So they are veterans of the Pug Life show. So I'm sure they're there in solidarity for poor old Buddy, because it's very nerve-wracking coming on for the first time.
Seems to be.
So you're doing very well, Buddy. Hey. So I thought what we do, so as I said in the intro, tonight's a bit of a twofer. So you guys actually have a mobile dog grooming business and also pawsome pug parents. So I thought we'd talk about the grooming side of the house first, and then we can move on to the amazing Buddy. And hopefully by that point in time, he's lost his little puggy nerves and he'll be okay.
All right.
Maybe we just need to entice him with some treaties.
Mm.
But we can talk about the T word later.
Yeah.
So you guys, so your business is called Bubbles and Cuddles Mobile Dog Wash.
Yes.
So what inspired you guys to start this business, being that it's mobile as opposed to the traditional shop front?
Well, I've always wanted to work with animals, and when I was young, the only option really was like a vet, which involved with the bad parts of looking after animals. and maybe working in a zoo and shoveling elephant poo or something like that.
Yeah.
But I never really considered dog grooming until the opportunity sort of just came up. We got someone to come and groom our dog, and we got to talking to them, and they said that the business in our area was for sale. And so Mum and I jumped on it because I was working with her at the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, ever since then, we've just been dog grooming. We started with the franchise, and now she has her own business, and I've got my own. But mobile's really good. It's practical. It's good. You can get to people that can't get to the salons.
Which is going to be my next question. What are some of the key differences between going to a salon and using a mobile business?
Well, firstly, it's a more contained area, so there's a lot less that I can do. I can't do like poodle grooms and things like that, just because the dogs.
Clips.
Yeah, breed clips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that takes a long period of time because the dogs get a bit restless in this small environment. That's probably one of the major things, I think. But also in the same time, I get to come to you, so you don't have to put the dog in the car and go through that and then wait and pick it up, which I think is a big benefit, especially with like elderly people and people that just don't have the ability to do that. So it's great being able to do the ones that would not be done otherwise.
No, it's definitely awesome. So in your experience, what's the most difficult thing about grooming a pug?
I'd have to be the toenails. Always the toenails. Yeah.
Feet? Touch your feet?
Yeah.
Well, I was about to say, because we were talking on Tuesday night, Buddy has a thing about his paws.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, he's very sensitive.
Which is funny because we had a guest last year, little Stevie, where she allows her parents to massage them.
Wow.
And she just I was amazed. Like, I had to see a video because I said, not that I want to call you a liar, but I've never known a pug to allow their parents to ever.
It's unheard of.
Yep. So
it's across all breeds, no dog likes their feet touched.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Stevie is one of a kind. That is for sure. I've seen. Her parents' names have escaped me off the top of my head, but they posted a video in the group so that we could all revel in the this amazing thing that just sort of never ceases.
And trained.
I know. Oh, here we go. So we've Gerald's just glared at the screen when you said toenails. He's deaf, but he heard that.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely. I was just going to say and Jess was saying convenient for people like me with 4 pugs. Oh my God, yes. Jess, you need to come on the show because even though I have to admit my show, record is 5 pugs. That is over a couple, so 2 ladies and their 5 pugs. I haven't met anyone who singularly has 4 pugs.
Walking into a house, it's a stampede.
Yeah.
It is a whirlwind of pugs.
It's a cuddle of pugs.
We took Buddy once just to, have a visit and play with other dogs. And, yeah, he was a bit overwhelmed, especially with the younger 2 twins. It was a bit much for him, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, poor thing. No, I have to, absolutely. Jess, please DM me. I have to see this for myself. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So apparently Willow, she gets her nails dremeled.
Wow.
Is that like the sander?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So I have to admit my groomer does use the sander on Rosie and Charles because and especially Charles being 13, he's a grumpy old bugger, really.
I don't know how they get away with it.
They couldn't hold their paw long enough to do it, whereas a nail clipper you can get in there and quick, yeah. When you're sanding them, you have to be able to hold.
Yeah. Willow is another one of those puggies who is one of a kind. She's a very well-behaved young lady who patiently sits to wait for her blueberries and raspberries every night from her dad. So maybe I'll have to, Joe, you'll have to let us know. Do you float the raspberries above? Yeah.
Yeah, there must be a trick. You put some on his head.
Absolutely. Oh, Rachel and Agatha have joined us, and apparently Agatha acts like a murder victim.
That sounds more like it.
Yeah, our late Stuffy was exactly the same. It took 2 of us to hold him down. We have to pin him down with my full weight just to get 1 or 2.
Just the 2 claws. Yeah, he was shopping.
Yeah, and I have to. That is the challenge. Especially all my pugs, all the other nails, you can pretty much sort of keep them fairly short, but those dew claws.
Yeah.
And I won't cut them. I will always take them in and have them done by somebody else because couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I always worry that I'll get the quick, which just then makes me feel like the worst pug parent in history.
The truth is, you probably will. If it's not too much, though, it's actually a good thing because it makes the quick recede a little bit. So next time it grows, there'll be that little gap that you can get onto. I've actually got this here. This is something I swear by. The label's a bit wrecked.
Yeah.
Where are we? But it's
yes.
septic gel.
Septic gel, yes.
Yeah. It only takes 2 drops, and you hold it on the dog's nail if it bleeds. It stings a little bit, but it stops the blood immediately. So if you actually do the wrong thing, and there's a lot of blood, this will stop them.
Yeah, it coagulates it and seals it straight away.
So can we get that at a pet store?
I've seen it at like the pet warehouse places and online Pet Circle. It's pretty common.
Cool. So it was called septic gel?
Stiff tick. STYPTIC.
P-I-T.
No, sorry. STYPTIC.
PTIC.
Yes.
Right, I'm just putting it in the comments section for everyone so that if they do want to go and have a look, they definitely can get it.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
They shouldn't fear clipping their dog's nails. Like, that is the biggest fear, but that's pretty much a dog groomer's secret, the septic gel.
Yeah, it helps. Also, dog grooming nail clippers like these, as opposed to the ones that push.
Oh, yes.
They're much better. The ones where you put the nail in and you push the blade across, they're very difficult for pug nails because the pug nails curl in so much and they're so close to the pads. So I wouldn't recommend using those.
And also split the nail too. It's a very, very old style of nail clipper, but these new ones, they're recommended.
Yeah, much better.
Oh, absolutely. No, thank you so much.
It is a nightmare clipping your dog's nails, but it has to be done. So any little help.
I know, the worst. I just so we've got one person here. So the vet wanted to sedate their pug every 8 weeks. So that
no, you don't need every 8 weeks.
Oh, some are pretty hard.
No, my God. So every 8 weeks, that would just be horrendous for poor little Willow.
Risky too.
Yeah, there's not really any need for that.
No, well, apparently Alfie's bitten 3 vets trying to cut his nails.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, well, I mean, if they're walked regularly enough, most of the main nails will stay short enough, and it's just the dew claws. And, I mean, at worst, like every 12 to 16 weeks, they'll definitely need to be cut. But sedation, it's a bit invasive. It
is. But if it's the only way to do it, I do have dogs whose nails I can't cut.
Yeah.
We've tried every trick in the book, and it's just, it won't happen, when they get aggressive and they'll hurt themselves.
There's one customer, we have a Craigie bird, like we can't even touch his feet to dry them. He screams.
No, I can't clip him. He's got fluffy feet. I clip all his body, but he has fluffy feet and his nails are super long and there's nothing I can do about it.
I think they only put him getting sedated to his nails maybe once a year or twice a year.
Twice a year when they get real bad. But the dew claws, it depends how quickly they grow. If they're touching the pad, they need to be cut.
No, absolutely. Because, if they ingrow, it gets to the point where they can't actually fix it, can they? Or they've got to do surgery?
I've had a lot of dogs that, especially over the lockdowns and everything, I've had quite a few dogs where the nails have grown into the pad. And there are people who probably won't take the dog in for surgery. So I've just clipped it out and peeled it out. And it's an absolutely horrific thing. But once it's out and once it's clean and everything, then the nail's gone and the dog's fine.
Yeah, it's just keeping the foot clean, really. Yeah. There's not much that a vet can really do.
No. And of course, and how uncomfortable for the puppy.
Most horrible thing I can't imagine it. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Even, yes, Grant, ouch. Absolutely. Yeah. Like, I think, oh, here we go. I was just going to say, Lynn's actually said that pretty much Gerald, her pugalier, she has a pugalier, but Gerald's more cavalier in look, pug in attitude, and apparently he's got the RSPCA on speed dial.
You're the opposite. You look like a pug, but you're chill out like a cavvy, aren't you?
Mm.
Oh, he's being very chill tonight.
Yeah,
very happily sitting on my lap.
Yeah, this is his favourite place in the whole world. If I could get one of those baby carriers, I could probably take him to work and he'd stay there all day.
No, it doesn't surprise me. Actually, Oscar, which is Lynn's other pug, I think he'd be the same too. Absolutely. So what's probably the most important thing that we should be grooming on our pug in between grooming sessions, and how often should we be doing it?
Yeah, definitely the face folds, especially the one closest to the nose. I find that one picks up the most stuff. And yeah, probably look, if you can be bothered every day, if you can't really be bothered, maybe 3 times a week. But it's imagine the crud growing on your face and you can't do anything about it.
At least every second day, because you know they got the short snouts, they're sniffing everything on their walks, and they're eating food.
I absolutely hate it though, so it's a battle.
My sister's pug Archie, one of the young twins, he keeps food for Ron on a 5-hourly basis.
Yeah, I pulled out half a schmacko last time.
Oh yes, you had to tell us about grooming his nose.
Yeah,
he's the worst out of the 4.
And even though his face is squished up, he somehow manages to squish it up even more when I'm trying to clean it.
Yeah,
he doesn't want us to take it.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, they're difficult.
There was, I'm assuming it was a smacko strap that you found in his nose fold.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, because he's got a very big fold, and the food doesn't go anywhere. And they clean it every day. He just keeps it filthy all the time.
I know. I help out every once in a while on the weekends. So I work full time during the week somewhere else. On the weekends, I went with him one time to do Jess's pugs, and he's like, "Oh, here, just grab the wet wipe, start doing his nose for me." And I was like, I cleaned it out. I was like, "Well."
Yeah, but it is important to keep their folds clean.
Yeah,
that and their eyes, I think, would probably be
the eyes is another big one too. Like even this guy, he's not free from that constantly 3, 4, 5, 10 times.
Yeah, probably 5 times a day we're wiping boogers out of his eyes.
Yeah.
And if we don't wipe him, he'll eat them.
Yeah,
I use the spray Visine to try and sort of keep them at least a little bit lubricated.
Mm.
So that Jess has said, yep, it's true. I'm trying to imagine in my mind's eye pulling out a smacko strap from his nose hold.
It wasn't the whole thing, but it was large enough.
A piece, but I mean, it's probably like there we go. Willow apparently eats her boogers. So
yeah, Buddy does. If we don't keep them, the tongue goes all the way up and then just drags everything down.
I'm just amazed, but I'm just sort of, it must be, hello to Noreen, who's just joined us as well. It must be the equivalent of an A&E surgeon trying to pull like a Matchbox car or like a kid's toy from a kid's nose.
Yeah, well, they don't want you doing it either. Like, so just trying to get them to sit still long enough. Like, we're trying to help you, little one.
That's right. We're doing it. The ears as well are a big one. Keeping the dog's ears clean is tough.
Yes.
But just regular ear cleaning. Like, there's a solution. What have I got here? It's called Ep30. It's...
Oh, yes.
I can't
I've used something similar to that, yes.
It's cheap. You can get it from anywhere. And a few drops every couple of days in the ears and smush it around and wipe it off.
Well, if they got normally clean ears, like maybe like at least once a fortnight, you chuck it in there, especially if dogs that have ear flaps that cover the actual ear hole, because then the moisture doesn't get out. So the Ep30 helps bring everything to the surface and dry out the ear. And that saves from infections. Like when we first got this little guy, he had 4 different infections. He had 1 in one ear and 3 different types in the other ear.
3 different types of bacteria in the other ear.
So it took a couple of months to get his ears under control, even maybe up to a year. But after that, we just put a bit of Ep30 in every couple of weeks and keeps his ears nice and clean and dry, don't they? He hasn't had a problem ever since.
Yeah, we're on it now, though.
And that's actually a wonderful segue to start talking about the other champion of the show. So thank you so much for all those grooming tips. It's actually wonderful. And so very handy. So I'll skip a question and say, tell us a little bit about yourself and Buddy and how did you meet? And then we'll come back to the first question.
I think you should tell.
Well, Buddy actually used to belong to a friend of ours who we're still really good friends with. It was actually Buddy and his sister Gizmo, and we used to babysit them every once in a while. Well, he was then and constantly going out here and there camping and whatnot. And I just love you, didn't I? And yeah, he moved into a new place and it wasn't suitable. He didn't have the right time to continuing to look after them too. So we convinced him to let us foster them for the time being and find them new homes. We went through Pug Rescue Victoria, but by the time the volunteer came, we had fallen in love, haven't we?
Yeah. Yeah, Zoe and Gizmo, not so much. She was actually quite difficult because she just didn't.
She wasn't getting along with our staffy bully.
She was fighting with the staffy all the time.
Picking fights and being very domineering, and we didn't have the time to do this sort of intense behavioural training that she needed.
Yeah.
But he was a sweetheart. He's sort of like a follow the leader. So we decided to keep Buddy for a little bit because we were looking for a companion dog for Bully. We thought we'll give him a try on his own for a while, and everything just kind of fell into place, didn't it?
Yeah, we fell in love with him pretty quickly. And he's a good match. He fit in really well with the cat and the other dog.
Oh, he's definitely afraid of the cat.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
So what? So Mischief is the cat's name.
Yes.
Yes.
And you were saying both Bully and Buddy were very afraid of Mischief, and Mischief knew it to the point where she would sit in the doorway.
Oh, she still does it.
Yeah, if they wanted to go out, if they want to go outside and she's sitting in the doorway, they won't. They'll just stand there and whine.
Because they sleep in the bedroom with us as well. So in the morning, we'd actually be woken up by the dogs kind of like whining, like, because she'd be sitting in the bedroom doorway and they want to go out so they can go have a bit of a wee or something to eat for breakfast. And she'd be looking at them like, what are you going to do?
Bring it on.
Yeah,
I dare you to walk past.
And if they tried, it was just...
Especially when you consider like a pug and a staffy are technically bigger than a cat.
Well, yeah, but that's why she has to make herself seem bigger, I guess.
She's the boss. She's the first one. She's the boss.
Yeah.
Queen. I don't know where she is.
But he still eats her food. So there's a give and take.
He's learned.
Yeah.
He lost weight and then realized he could jump up onto the table, the kitchen dining room table, and eat her food. And sometimes we forget when we go to work and we come home and the cat is just screaming at us and we look at the food bowl and it's licked clean, like there's no crumbs left. And we're
it's polished.
He's eating her food again.
Yeah. A little gremlin.
You are a gremlin. Hey, gremlin?
Revenge.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. It's give and take.
Yes. So the beautiful thing is Gibbo's actually now happily rehomed, funnily enough, with a house with a staffy in it.
Yeah. Well, she grew up with the staffy as well, but different dynamic, I guess.
Yeah. Sometimes it just needs the right staffy, and apparently the right cat.
That's right. Yeah.
So, which is lovely. Do you guys still catch up with Gizmo? Or you haven't seen her since she left for Pug Rescue?
No, we haven't physically seen her since she left for the Pug Rescue, but they did post a follow-up. The Pug Rescue page did post a follow-up about where she was, and we did briefly speak to the new owners because they were a foster house, and then they ended up deciding to adopt her.
Yeah.
So we shared like just a couple of photos of these two cuddling up with their staffies, and that was, I think, the last time. But she seemed a lot more calm. She was very neurotic. Had to be in charge of everything. And then the photos that they shared with her, she was really kind of calm and at peace.
Yeah, it seemed like
she was definitely
they
in the
worked
right
magic
place.
on her, that's for sure.
They had the time to give her that we didn't have.
Yeah. No. So I'll go back to my first question, which was just because it was such a good segue into how Buddy came into your life. So what inspired you to become a pug parent in the first place?
It didn't. I've always preferred bigger dogs. I've always raised the sort of medium to large dogs, and I never thought I'd like little dogs. But it was the babysitting because he was so.
Yeah, you just spend time with a pug and you fall in love with them.
And like Jess's pugs, like I never thought I'd have a pug because I'm like they're just so crazy. Like how do you live like this? Like I don't know. And then but this guy, he's so calm. Like he's sitting here the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's expecting treats. That's why there'll be payment later.
He looks at me so lovingly, and your tail doesn't stop wagging, and everybody falls in love with you, even the vet nurses. Even my brother, who's like Farmer Michael, he's always had kelpies and healers and stuff. Yeah. First time he met this guy, it's just I'm Juki. In love with him.
Yeah, you can't resist them. I think all pugs are irresistible. That's what it is. Especially the first pug I groomed, I knew I was going to get one in the end. There's just something special about them.
Yeah. I mean, I've always wanted a French bulldog, and I still would love a French bulldog. But, him coming into my life, like, it's definitely changed how I feel about pugs and smaller breeds. Especially having one that can sit on my lap and I can pick up and...
Yeah. He's always keeping us warm, that's for sure.
And the costumes.
The costumes.
I know, and we will get to that.
You can't dress up a German Shepherd.
No, they do look a little silly.
Yes.
In not a good way.
Awkward.
Yes. Whereas pugs, they just take it in their stride. Like, just bring on the, if this is going to get me more attention, then bring it on.
Absolutely. That's all they care about. More food, more attention.
Absolutely. So, Buddy was his original name. You guys didn't name him. But I do want you to, because this is my favourite part, I want you to run through his nicknames. Because they were awesome, and I'll have to as you're talking, I need to.
I don't know.
Back to my notes.
We can list a few. There's Cumb Bum.
Yes.
Gremlin, Goblin.
Munchkin and Pumpkin.
Yes, Munchkin and Pumpkin.
There's well, the more polite word would be poop lips.
Because he eats cat poo all the time.
Loves it. Truffle hunting is his favourite activity.
Yeah, it's absolutely dreadful. I can't think of the others. Kat's trying to find the list that we sent
Nugget.
up. Chicken
Yes, I was
Nugget.
going to say, I want the story. I want you to tell the story behind Cumb Bum and Nugget.
Oh, Stampy Pants as well.
Oh, Stampy Pants, because when he hits ready to eat dinner, he actually just runs around.
Yep. Stamps his pants
and
everywhere.
Screams at you. The screaming pug, because he occasionally howls at you, especially when we're gone for work too long.
Oh yeah, he makes us know that he's upset about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, chicken nugget. I came home with a 24-pack of chicken nuggets with the intention of sharing them with the dogs, a few of them. And I put them on the bench. I got up and to get a drink. I heard a crash, and I came down, and within at least 15 seconds, maybe less, he'd eaten all of them, and he was just sitting there like a big square, like the box that.
Like this. On the couch for about 2 days. We had to actually sit after him. And he had the biggest smile on his face. There was no regrets at all.
Not a single one.
Me? No regrets.
Yeah, he doubled in size that day. That was funny. Funny, but also a bit scary. That was a lot.
Yeah, we looked it up straight away to actually see if he's any danger of anything for eating that much. And I think it was mostly just watching out to see if he was going to throw up and make sure that he doesn't get constipated and things like that. But you were fine in the end.
Typical pug can eat anything. It comes out one end or the other.
So Lynn says nugget coma.
Yeah, basically that's what it was. Yeah,
with a big smile on his face.
Yeah.
And apparently she loves all the nicknames. Gerald is also called Truffle Hunter. And he's very happy when he likes he gets McDonald's, but I can't remember his nuggets. I think it's a McDonald's patty though. But he has been known to jump up. He's the dog, the pug that I was telling you about that climbed up the bookcase to get onto the kitchen bench to eat the roast chicken.
Yeah, wow. Yep. Nothing will come between a pug and its food if it's left long enough.
Hell no. So
Yeah,
where did you get Cumb Bum from?
Well, Cumb Bum just because he walks around like a vacuum cleaner, sniffing up every tiny little crumb in the house.
Yeah, so you give him a treat, from leftover dinner, because you'll eat any vegetables or leftovers. And as soon as you leave, he just literally like a vacuum cleaner, his nose, face to the ground, and it's just, sniff, 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 and you can hear him licking. Even when
Does his tail do this, a bit like a submarine periscope?
Well, no, it's great.
Even if I'm trying to sweep the lounge room and the kitchen floor, because most of our house is tiled, and sometimes I'll just sweep instead of vacuum. And you pile everything up in a corner to collect it later. I'll catch him, and he's destroyed the whole pile because there could be food. He hangs around the stove like anything, there's no crumb left behind.
Yeah.
Even if it's not food.
Yes. So Buddy's birthday is in March, and I was shocked, and I reckon everybody else who's watching is, how old's Buddy turning in March?
14.
Yep.
And I still, to this day, cannot believe that he's soon to be a 14-year-old dog.
And it was 3 weeks ago we taught him how to roll over.
Yeah.
Yes, so because that was going to be, so he's roll over and a paw bump.
Yeah, he's been doing the paw bump for a long time. We taught him that as a just something that we can do every time we leave the house, so he knows that we're coming back to help with separation anxiety. So he's pretty good at that one. But rolling over was a bit of a shock. I just tried it. Jess showed me the technique, but I just tried it at one time, and the food was good enough that he started to work it out. And I think it probably took us about half an hour.
No,
maybe?
it was over 2 days he got it.
But we only spent 5 or 10 minutes doing it each time, just trying to push him a little further.
I think when we last spoke on Tuesday, he was doing it with commands. Now we can actually do it only with hand gestures. We don't actually have to say anything now.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yep, he continues to surprise us, this little guy.
Well, Grant said, wow. Lynn said 14. Oh, my God.
Well, yeah, there's no sign of slowing down, is there?
No.
Just starting to get a touch of the arthritis in the old back legs here, but otherwise,
no. just absolutely amazing that he's turning 14. So the other thing is so we do have to talk about, which is a little bit of a sad moment. So he lost his best friend in January.
Yeah, we lost Bully.
I think the 4th of January we lost Bullwinkle. Yeah, our Stuffy, English Stuffy.
Yeah, and we took Buddy with us into the vet so that he was there for the whole process. On advice from a friend of mine who'd done the same thing with his dogs. And we were really surprised at the way he's reacted because Buddy's never been alone. He was with Gizmo his whole life and now the Stuffy. And then he spent the second half of his life with Bully and us. He's never, ever been on his own. And he's taken it really, really well.
Yeah, he hasn't been looking for him. He hasn't had sort of his usual separation anxiety. We had to replace the blinds in one of our house once because we left him alone for 5 minutes to take Bully to the vet.
Yeah, he went crazy. He destroyed the place.
Destroyed the house.
Yeah.
But no, I think he's just not happy when we're gone for a long time. But I think taking him with us on his own level, he's understood. And with Bully being sick for as long as he was, like I think he knew.
Yeah.
Like, even with Mischief, she was a bit cranky the first few weeks, and even she's starting to kind of get a bit cuddly and understand what's going on. But
yeah, no, he took it better than we really thought because we were really panicked. We thought maybe we're going to have to borrow someone else's dog or take him to
babysitting while we're at work.
Jess's place so that he can be looked after with the other dogs. But no, he's coped really, really well. He just continues to surprise us, this little guy.
No, it's so wonderful. As we were talking on Tuesday, Charles, after 3 weeks, we just went, no, he's too lonely. He really, same thing, didn't know life without Winston. So for the first time in 10 years, no Winston. And he wasn't there when they did it. We arrived afterwards because of the circumstances. And yeah, Charles just couldn't do it. So having Rosie come to sleep over and then stay permanently.
Yeah.
I promise everyone I do pug sit and not every pug stays with me.
She gives them back sometimes.
Sometimes, I'll let you have them back for visits. So so it's just amazing. He's just done so well.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't in the best condition when we picked him up because my mate didn't know anything about looking after dogs.
Yeah.
And he's in the place where he needs to be. And it's the same with Gizmo, I think. The way that Gizmo recovered so well, because the time we had her for quite some time and we weren't getting any progress with her. She was barking all the time, pissing everywhere. It was difficult.
Yeah.
And in that pretty much that same period of time at her foster house, they managed to give her what she needed and the time and the effort and the energy, and she came good. So it's a happy ending for both dogs.
It's the same with this guy too.
Absolutely.
Having a bit of direction and, being allowed to sleep on the couch and the bed just made this huge difference. Like, they never used to stop barking with the previous owner, and then he'd come over and be like, why are they not barking? And we're like, because they're on the couch.
Yeah, because
they're where they belong.
Yeah. With the humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's Buddy's treats? Because he's only just recently discovered a new favourite.
Oh, yeah. Well, when we had Bullwinkle together with Buddy, food was competition, and we couldn't eat bones or anything like that. Now that he's gone, and we're like, let's try and find stuff for him for Buddy to eat.
Yeah,
that takes time. We've been experimenting. Normally, it was just schmackos and dentist sticks and things like that they could both share. But these latest one is lamb knee knuckles.
Oh, yeah, he likes those, yeah.
Good 3 or 4 hours. He just sits there just gnawing at them. And chicken necks.
Yeah, chicken necks are a big one for him.
Chicken necks.
And because now that Bully's gone, he can actually eat it slowly. He doesn't just swallow it whole, which is what was happening before.
Yeah, we're always worried because he was always eating everything too quickly. But now, like, he's enjoying his food. But he gets all sorts. He's got jerky, chicken jerky, and liver
some
jerky.
Massive liver treats. Yep. Yeah, we'll just keep experimenting with him because he likes it all. He is a pug.
He'll eat anything. With the lamb knee bone, he didn't know what to do with it at first because he'd never seen it before. And then he's grabbed it off because, like, it's dog food. And he's like, I don't know what to do with it. And then eventually he got the hang of it. And the second time I gave him one, he knew exactly what it was.
Yeah, he was ready for it.
We didn't see him for 4 hours. And he ate more of it this time. He just left these 2 bones. I stepped on one like Lego. Don't ever step on a dog bone.
Oh, yes. Yes, few profuse words.
Yep.
Issue.
And I found them, I threw them out, and then he got really savage and he started digging. He's got a blanket on his bed and he started digging through the blanket and he had one buried underneath and he pulled it out. He started chewing it. He stashed one.
Yeah.
Smart boy.
Yeah.
So can we see a paw bump?
Oh, maybe.
Is he in the mood for it?
Come on, give me Bones. Come on, buddy. Do it. Come on.
I think he's.
Don't be shy. All right, try again. Come on, Bones. Come on.
Oh no, we're
Nah, doesn't look like it. Come on, mate.
Oh,
Come on. I'll get a treat. I'll get a treat.
the universal answer.
He knows
For
where he's going. He knows where he's
everything.
straight away.
He's not a silly puggy.
Oh, we could turn the camera around and we can show the roll if you want.
See, oh well, we'll see how we go with the paw bump.
All right. Let's see if we can turn this.
Come here, buddy. Yeah. Can you see?
Yep.
He already knows.
Oh. Oh my God! Well done! Well done!
All right, we'll do the fist.
Oh, do you want to do the fist bump?
I'm so jealous.
Good boy.
Oh, bravo, buddy! I'm really jealous. I have to admit, I don't get that kind of love out of Rosie and Charles.
It's
or any of my dogs, for that
I
matter.
didn't think it would be possible. I thought I was trying to do the impossible, but you worked it out very quickly.
I know, and this is the old adage: can't teach an old dog new tricks. But
No, just get new
No.
food.
yeah,
Right.
you just need to change the treats.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
it. Although without treats, we can't get him to do anything.
No.
No.
Oh no! So the important question of actually no, two more. So what's Buddy's favourite adventures?
He just loves going to the park. We call it reading the news. You
Yeah.
know when you take your dog for a walk and they have to stop and sniff all the trees? He's got one tree. We call it the age because it's the biggest tree and he spends a lot of time there. But just fresh grass because he spent a lot of time just sort of in a concrete
just
jungle.
grass that other dogs have peed on, to be honest. That's his
Yeah.
absolute favourite. So when we take him to the park, he doesn't really care about the other dogs. He just goes and just wants to sniff all the bushes.
I love the concept of it's like him going to read the news.
Yeah, that's the way it seems. Like if it's a big page, then he takes his time and has a good read of it, and then he moves on when he's learned everything he needs to learn. Sometimes he adds his own bit, sometimes not.
He doesn't mind car rides, but he tends to get a bit bored. My parents' house, my parents live in South Gippsland in Lingatha, and they've got a couple of acres of property. And
Oh my God.
when we do go for a walk around, he does love having just fresh grass and flowers. And there's wildlife out there, and he picks up their scent, and he just kind of goes on an adventure with his nose.
Literally, it's like the equivalent of CNN News 24/7 then.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely getting spoiled by his two grandmas as well.
Mm.
Grant said gold medalist for the next Pug.
Yeah, it's amazing. We're going to try Play Dead next.
And Rachel thinks that possibly she needs to try harder to teach Agatha new tricks. So I'm not sure that trying harder is going to work for me with Rosie or Charles.
No, it's up to the dog. It's
Absolutely.
Not
Like he's
whether to do it or not.
so beautifully behaved.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
I'm absolutely jealous. But you did say that he obviously loves grass, bounces around like a rabbit, and loves to roll
in the long grass.
around it, like as in continually roll.
Yeah, he just absolutely loves long grass. It's the best thing. And because of his tail, it's not fully curled. It stands up a bit when the grass is too long. All you can see is his little tail just wiggling along. Yeah.
Just his periscope. It's all right.
Yeah, as long as we can see the tail, we know he's all right.
Yeah, not just any grass. I think winter is his favourite because that's when everything's going fresh and green, like that nice soft grass.
Yeah.
Right now, you can see him walking through, and he kind of tiptoes through the dry grass because it's prickly. It's like, this is not what I expected.
On that note, it's grass seed season. I'd like to just point that out. So when you are walking the dogs, make sure you check their toes because it can be really, really bad for them. And it's easy to take out after a walk. Just a quick brush. Even though they hate it, it's worth it. You have to.
No, absolutely. And a really good point. Thank you so much for that, Tim, because Charles has had 2 surgeries on one of his paws.
I watched a dog the other day who'd lost his toe from it. And
wow.
there's all sorts of horror stories with grass seeds. They're absolutely terrible
And
for
it's
dogs.
not something you would normally think about, even with dogs that don't have much hair between their toes, because it is a bit squishy in there. He doesn't have much hair, but we check them quite regularly, even though he hates it, as you can see.
He hates it.
But it takes 2 seconds to check their feet after a walk, and then You know, and that compared to, say, finding that they've got an abscess and then surgery and like it's hours and days to fix. It's just a simple thing to check for.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. So my last question is, what is Buddy's favourite outfit?
The Ladybird. I think it's mine too, actually.
I think it's all of ours. He struts around in it so proud. He definitely likes wearing it.
It was his first one. It used to be Bullwinkles, and it was a little bit too small for him. And when we babysitted them, I think we had a bit of fun one night, decided to dress them all up. And when we put the Ladybird outfit on him, oh, it was heaven.
Yeah, his eyes were sparkling.
He sits down, he does that
self.
turn. He still loves it. Like, even when we pull out, like, you know, his Crosby sweater and a few others, like, he's excited.
No, he's very lucky. He knows that he's living the good life.
Yeah, he is now. I think a lot of rescues definitely seem that way as well. They seem more appreciative. They're a little bit more easygoing on you. And, you know, they seem to, a lot of the rescues that I do just seem grateful that they're not in a previous situation that they were in.
Yes. Having a wonderful, loving home. And they know so quickly that.
Yeah, this is the right place for them.
This is the forever home, and this is as good as it gets. I mean, I have to. My partner Andrew has always said, when I die, I want to come back as one of my pugs.
Yeah.
He said might start out a bit rough in life, but I tell you what, the tail end of it is always a good thing.
Yeah.
So yes, we finally got to take Rosie and Charles to our local cafe for chips yesterday. So, and I'm not joking. Rosie was the most embarrassing behaved pug I think I've ever owned. Like, people stopped to look at her because she was they were in the stroller so we could try and contain them until the chips had cooled down, and she's stamping a paw against the side of the stroller.
Stampy pants.
Pants. And she's grumbling, and of course Charles is just sitting there calmly going, "It's okay, I'll wait for my chips."
Yep, I'll be the good one.
Like, I want my chips and I want them now.
Yeah.
So, yes, I completely understand the stampy pants at dinner time.
Yep.
How dare we take so long?
That's right, yeah.
How dare.
Yeah, we've let them down.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight and all the wonderful information that you shared about from a grooming perspective, and obviously Buddy's beautiful life, and I can't believe he's made a liar of me. Everyone, I promise, he does smile all the time. But having said that,
that's for sure.
When we spoke during the week, he was too scared to do the paw bump. So you know what? It's kind of a trade-off. We got the smiles or the paw bump.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty happy with the paw bump, to be honest. I'm a little bit jealous.
Yeah.
So
he'll do anything for food, so we'll see what he does next.
Absolutely, you'll have to film it and put it on Facebook for us so that we can cheer him on.
Yeah, we will.
Have a kiss.
Oh, beautiful puppy.
No, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having us.
No, thank you so much. And thank you to our Puggy audience for joining us tonight for the first.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching.
Yes, for the first show of 2022, and I said it was going to be a good one. So I hope you had as good a time as I did getting to know Kat, Tim, and the beautiful Buddy. We'll be hanging around after the show to respond to everyone's messages, and it's not too late to say hello and tell us what you loved about tonight's show with Buddy, Kat, and Tim. So I said the paw bump was definitely one of my favourites. Now, Puggies, if you would like to be a superstar of your very own show, exactly like Buddy, we'd love to have you as a guest. And all it takes is an email or a direct message telling us that you want to be a star. And we, as in not the royal we, Charles and Rosie delegates that responsibility to me, will do the rest. So don't worry, Charles and Rosie are here to instruct and observe at all times to make sure I don't get it wrong. So Puggies, until next time, have a pawsome week, and humans, as always, be generous with the snackies.
Yep.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.